if the greatest revenge isn't getting even, but becoming so peaceful that the people who underestimated you can no longer disturb your mind? Most men think power comes from arguing louder, proving themselves, or chasing closure. But the ancient Stoics taught something far more powerful. True strength begins the moment you stop explaining your worth to people determined to misunderstand you. In today's video from The Stoic Mind Fortress, you'll discover why silence, self-respect, and emotional discipline are the three qualities that make a man truly unforgettable. Stay until the end, because the final lesson may completely change how you view relationships and yourself. You want to know what truly leaves a lasting impact on someone who underestimated you? It isn't yelling. It isn't blocking them. It isn't begging them to understand your side. The most powerful thing a man can do requires something far greater than anger. It requires self-respect, emotional discipline, and the courage to walk away in silence. When someone finally realizes what you've done, they may never forget it. This isn't about manipulation. This isn't about revenge. It's about the transformation that happens when a man finally decides that his peace is more valuable than chasing someone who never appreciated it. A man like this never announces his exit. He doesn't threaten to leave. He doesn't post dramatic messages hoping someone notices. He simply reaches a quiet decision, not because he's angry, not because he hates anyone, but because he finally understands something life-changing. His value was never dependent on someone else's ability to recognize it. That realization changes everything. It changes the way he walks, the way he speaks, the way he carries himself, even the way he looks at himself in the mirror. There's a confidence that cannot be faked when a man no longer needs external validation. People notice it before they even understand what's different. That's the quiet power of Stoicism. It's the strength that comes from mastering yourself instead of trying to control others. At first, nothing seems different. She assumes you're still there, still waiting, still hoping, because that's what you've always done. You were always the one trying harder, the one staying awake at night searching for answers, the one replaying every conversation, wondering what you could have said differently, the one who apologized just to restore peace, the one who forgave the cold responses, the mixed signals, and the emotional distance because you believed love meant never giving up. You invested your heart believing your effort would eventually be appreciated, but instead of seeing commitment, she became accustomed to your consistency. Instead of valuing your loyalty, she assumed it would always be there. Without realizing it, your kindness became predictable, your patience became expected, and your love slowly stopped being appreciated. Many people mistake unconditional effort for unlimited availability. That's one of the hardest lessons a man can learn. The moment someone believes you'll never leave, they often stop valuing the fact that you chose to stay. Little by little, the relationship becomes one-sided. You continue giving, they continue receiving, and eventually your emotional energy begins to disappear, not because you stopped caring, but because you finally became exhausted from carrying something that was never meant to be carried alone. Then something unexpected happens, not a dramatic argument, not an emotional goodbye. Just silence. You stop chasing. You stop overthinking every delayed reply. You stop writing long explanations trying to fix problems that only one person wants to solve. You stop begging for understanding. Instead, you choose peace. And that quiet decision changes your entire life. The silence isn't filled with resentment. It's filled with freedom. For the first time in a long time, you aren't trying to convince someone to see your worth. You're simply living as someone who already knows it. And that's where real transformation begins. Something changes the moment you stop chasing validation. At first, she may not even notice. She assumes you're simply busy. Maybe you're giving her space. Maybe you'll be back in a day or two, apologizing like you always have. After all, that's the pattern she's grown used to. She believes your attention is permanent. She believes your loyalty is guaranteed. She believes that no matter how distant she becomes, you'll eventually return and pick up the pieces.